WNEM TV5 News starts right now with a breaking news alert.
We continue our coverage of that breaking news out of Genesee County. Today, dozens of schools evacuated or locked down after a county-wide bomb threat.
Yeah, an anonymous caller tipped MSP off to 5 dirty bombs planted at local schools. And right now, WNEM TV5's Bill Walsh live and local with the latest on MSP's investigation. Bill.
Hi, Sam and Katie. Yeah, investigators have learned that the anonymous call came in from a payphone at Conley's Travel Center in Birch Run. That's at the corner of Birch Run Road and the I-75 exit. Now, Tom McIntyre with Saginaw County 911 says the call came into his department and that the call was short. The caller simply gave the bomb information and hung up. Call came in at 11:50 this morning, and officials say they acted swiftly. Saginaw County notified state police, who told the Genesee Intermediate School District, who then got that information out to all of their 207 buildings across the county. In a letter sent to parents, Flint Community Schools say they found out about the threat at 1:15 this afternoon. MSP also says that all local police agencies were notified and that the local police worked with school administrators to enact their own emergency plans.
The protocols are different with each one of the school districts' buildings, the protocol that they've established with their local law enforcement agencies. Some schools evacuated, some schools moved students to other areas, and some schools, it's my understanding, just continued to operate like they normally would.
And of course, no bombs were found. MSP Flint Post is handling this investigation. They have visited Saginaw County Dispatch to get phone records and a recording of that, the audio of the phone call. They've also checked with Conley's to inquire about any surveillance video that's available. Still, though, if you have any information, call MSP Flint Post. The number 810-732-1111. For now, we're live in Genesee County. I'm Bill Walsh. Let's send it to Sherry Hardman. She has the latest on how the schools in Genesee County were handling this threat. Sherry?
That's right, Bill. Here in Grand Blanc High School, students were told that it was a fire drill. They were evacuated around 2 this afternoon before being brought back into the school. Different schools handled it differently. Flint Community Schools, students and teachers stayed in class while buildings were searched. Lake Fenton, their buildings were on lockdown. That was also the case in Clio. Lakeville, Flushing, and Davison, they didn't have school, so there was no threat to students there. But here in Grand Blanc, parents tell me that they were notified by phone. Some people also got letters at different schools. The students, like I said, were told that it was a fire drill, so they were not panicked by that. And it is business as usual here at Grand Blanc. There will be a football game here tonight. Some other schools have canceled their evening activities. That would be Lakeville and Fenton. But tonight, Grand Blanc will have their football game. We are live in Grand Blanc. Sherry Hardman, WNEM TV5.
All right, Sherry and Bill, both thank you. And stay with TV5 for continuing coverage of this breaking news. We'll have the very latest on the situation tonight on TV5 News at 11 and, of course, online all evening. Some major damage at one home this morning after a 2-car crash at Holland and Mason in Saginaw. Police say one car T-boned another just after 8 a.m., sending it into the porch of this home. At least one person was injured in the collision.
11 years after he murdered 20-year-old Rachel Scott, Laurencio Rodriguez has now learned how long he'll be spending in prison. He was convicted in September, and now Rodriguez has been sentenced to anywhere from 37 to 70 years behind bars. The case was unsolved more than a decade until new DNA evidence and a witness came forward.
The couple charged with hiring dozens of illegal immigrants to work on their Thumb Farm is due back in court next week. John and Anja Verhar could go to jail for employing more than 80 illegal workers on their Huron County dairy farm, but local businesses are pleading with federal courts not to send them to jail, saying that their business would dry up without the farm. The couple's attorney says the farm can't continue to run if they are behind bars.
Beautiful day out there as we take a live look right now over the city of Saginaw, the Dow Event Center in particular. If you like today, by the way, you're really going to like tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Darren Bradley has a look at the weekend. Hi, Darren.
Hello, Sam. Yeah, gorgeous weather on the way both for your Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures will be slowly ramping up a bit as well. We are below normal temperature-wise. Well, a lot of other reasons-wise, but temperature-wise is what I'm speaking of. 47 in Saginaw, 48 in Flange, 43 right now in Bad Axe. Typically highs around 53, so we're getting close. Sky tracker showing a few fair weather clouds breezing by, but quite a bit of sunshine today, and it looks like a beautiful night on the way. If you're heading out to the big playoff games, 7 o'clock kickoff, looking for temperatures low 40s, so it is going to be cool out there. Winds fairly light from the east around 3 to 8. Kickers take note. Tomorrow looks to be a pretty nice looking day as well. Temperature will be topping out in the upper 40s, low 50s by noon. Full sunshine with 42. We'll time things out with the Futurecast. We do have some rain on the way. We'll talk about when we're going to see that coming up.
Cut off, thousands of Michigan residents will see their welfare benefits run out tomorrow. The decision to cap cash assistance after 4 years came down when a judge decided to lift a previous court ruling. WNEM TV5's Liz Gilardi joins us live and local with more. Liz.
Katie, what makes this even more difficult is people whose benefits are set to run out thought that they were buying some time. A group sued on their behalf to try and block the new policy. But with this latest court decision, their benefits will run out and they don't have a lot of time to figure it out.
But I think that, it needs to be voiced that you're talking disabled children. They didn't ask for that.
Megan Smith's welfare benefits expire tomorrow. The $400 per month she receives help take care of her disabled children.
And I don't know. I really haven't figured it out.
Smith is part of a lawsuit that tried to block the lifetime limit on cash assistance. But the court ruled the Department of Human Services can start implementing its new policy, and soon. This will end benefits for families, even as court proceedings go forward.
It was a hard blow. I actually was at a doctor's appointment when I got the phone call from my attorney.
Roughly 11,000 families will be in the same position as Smith, trying to figure out what to do.
I have not made up my mind. I'm going to continue to fight and fight for the other people that were cut off, because I don't think people realize this is not a lifestyle we chose.
DHS spokespeople say a variety of other programs are available to people who are affected. They say the goal is to provide a safety net during this transition, but Smith says that she doesn't qualify for some of these programs. She's very frustrated and even thinking about moving out of state. Reporting live and local in Flint, Liz Gilardi, WNEM TV5.
All right, Liz, and DHS started an outreach program in August to contact families that might be affected.
Log on to eBay and you might see some familiar cars. One local sheriff is taking to the web to sell off confiscated vehicles and raise money for his force. It's not just cars taken from drunk drivers in Saginaw County either. Now the sheriff is finding even more ways to raise money and save taxpayers some cash. Our Brian Wood, live and local in Saginaw County tonight with the story. Woody.
And Sam, the Sheriff's Department has said right now they're helping other communities deal with drunk drivers after they've been arrested for the third time. And not only is this helping law enforcement, but it's also helping the taxpayer.
It's a win-win for the public, and it sends a message to the lawbreakers as well.
Sheriff Bill Fetterspiel talking about the cars his department has confiscated from drug dealers and drunk drivers. His own patrol car, this Mustang, the undersheriff's Cadillac, and just last week, they sold this Jeep, Volkswagen, and Cadillac on eBay for a total of $10,000, money that will go back into his department to fight crime.
That money's coming back to us. It's going to help offset taxpayer dollars.
But now the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department has taken this one step further. The Sheriff's Department is joining up with other agencies, other communities, and helping them sell their forfeited cars. The Sheriff's Department will do all the paperwork. They'll take the car to market and they'll sell it and then split the money from the sale with the other agency.
Simply piggybacking with him and working with his folks is a great idea.
Phil Ludos is the assistant city manager of Saginaw, and he points out that the Sheriff's Department already has the know-how and staff in place to do the paperwork and is now looking at entering into the 50-50 sale agreement with the Sheriff's Department.
The sheriff wins, we win as a city, and more importantly, the community wins.
And the sheriff points out that this type of arrangement benefits communities, law enforcement, and taxpayers.
Eases the burden of the taxpayer.
Here we go.
And it takes a vehicle away from a drunk driver.
Now, the Sheriff's Department has already helped other communities. St. Charles is a good example of that. In the city of Saginaw, the Sheriff's Department is just waiting for the thumbs up, and they say they'll join in their effort too. Live and local in Saginaw, Brian Wood, WNEM.
TV5.
Okay, Brian, thank you for that. Now, we asked our Facebook friends if they thought this was the right way to raise money. Cindy says it's a form of legalized theft and that the sheriff should be sure the owners were charged and convicted before taking those cars. But Sean is really on board. She says police agencies should drive the cars and put a sticker that says confiscated on the side as a warning to others.
All right, here's a look at some of the key contests we'll be covering for you during Tuesday's election. On the ballot in Midland, 2 school board seats, 3 candidates are running. There are 8 candidates running for Saginaw City Council's 5 open seats, and 4 candidates are running for 2 open seats on the school district in Saginaw.
The Saginaw Intermediate School District is also hoping for some extra money for students with disabilities. The district is asking for a $1.5 million levy that would come to about $130 a year for a $75,000 home. The ISD says money will go toward children with autism and other cognitive impairments, and also for at-risk and young students. School officials say special education funding has been drying up and needs to be replenished.
There is also a vote on renovations to Saginaw City Hall. The city wants a 15-year, $7 million loan that is expected to cost about $1.2 million. Stay with TV5 for continuing coverage of all the local elections. We'll have the latest on air online all day Tuesday.
WNEM TV5 News still ahead.
It's no surprise when a fight breaks out at a hockey game, but wait until you hear who got punched at one game last night.
Pumpkins are being launched hundreds of feet into the air, and it's all in the name of science. Stay with us. We'll have that story coming up.
A chance to learn from the pros. Find out how one former NFLer is helping Mid-Michigan kids get involved in their communities.
You are watching TV5 News at 6 tonight, serving Millington, LC Omer in your hometown.
It's coverage you can count on. We'll be right back.
You're watching Mid-Michigan's #1 6 o'clock news, WNEM TV5 News. Coverage you can count on.